Good afternoon, and I welcome you to the grounds of the Octagon House, owned by the Watertown Historical Society. I'm the president, Bill Yankee, and we are here to rededicate our little house, our Octagon House replica. First, I would like to introduce our mayor, Mr. John David, who will say a few words.
This is my first speech since I was re-elected mayor.
Make it a good one.
One thing I know how to do is keep it short. I actually sold Tom a little paint for this reconstruction. Actually, it was a very little. Tom, I want you to start thinking bigger, okay? I was on the Octagon House board, and we talked, over a year ago about what should we do about the mini Octagon House, the replica. It was in need of some serious repair, and Tom just has done a fantastic job on this. I mean, this is a lot of painstaking labor of love work, and it has turned out great. This and this is part of the legacy, really, of the city of Watertown. It is just one of the things that sets our city aside from any other city in this state, and really any other city in the United States. This here is replaceable. This here can never be replaced. If something would happen to this wonderful structure, it would be gone. It would be gone forever. You can't make something over 100 years old. It just does not work, and you all know that. So we are so happy at the city of Watertown to have the Octagon House, to have this replica, to have the heritage that is involved with this whole grounds here. All of the folks that keep it looking great and that help run the Octagon House, we're very appreciative of. And I'm so glad that there's so many people here today for this rededication of the replica here. And we're going to hear some interesting things, a lot more interesting things than I have to say from Bill about the history of the Octagon House and of this replica. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming and thank Tom for the great work he did.
Well, like the mayor, I will keep my remarks extremely brief. Unlike the mayor, I will not be as entertaining, I'm afraid, but I'll try. We're gathered here today, of course, to honor the replacement of our little house, our mini Octagon House, back after an absence of over a year, almost a year and a half. It was sorely missed up here. We are very glad to have it once again back in its perch. The little house was constructed in 1936 as part of a WPA project, and it has been on the grounds of the Octagon House since, at the very latest, about 1940. Might have been here a little bit earlier than that. Over the years, in its over 70 years of life, it has been used as a parade float, and it has been used also as an object lesson to show what our house, our museum here, looked like while it lacked its porches, which it did from 1924 until 1982. Since the porches were restored, the house here has lost a little of its impact, but it is still an icon, and it has still delighted visitors from all over the United States and the world who come here to see us on a regular basis. Unfortunately, in its 70 years of existence, it has also suffered at the hands of those same visitors, because everyone wants to get so close to this little building to really see.
8 sides on the Octagon, and this is the original steel top, and this is basically the original here. Just one chimney has been changed, but there's 47 windows, 285 spindles, but who's counting? And I think the biggest thing of it is that this is a labor of love with the original person, that this is what's called a 1/12 scale. So for every foot here on this original house, it's 1 inch. And when I took this apart, I came back to look at different things, like what window is there, what window is there. And I think it is interesting that at the time that he had built this house, he was charged by the window for the taxation. So those are not windows, they're doors, and they open up. And I think that it was enjoyable, and I thank my wife, and I just want to say this has been a journey, and thank you so much.
I would be remiss if I did not mention that we have some descendants of Paul Moore's family here with us today, and so I hope that you will all have a chance to speak to some of them and get their stories about how the house was built and a few other things. And lacking anything, and now we will have the official cutting of the ribbon. Mr. Gates.
Okay. This is good.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
It's big here. Should I put it? No. Oh boy, cut my feet right off.
He's done that before.